what do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God!
OJ Simpson kills those two people so hard, they stop making the Ford Bronco.
This is called.
Hey everybody, how are we doing? We know what time it is. It is the time that we unleash.
This is called a stabbing motion. Stabbing motion. Stabbing motion.
It's the OJ Simpson day. How we doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're doing it, whoever you're doing it with, and whatever it happens to be that you're doing. Hi. How we doing? Thursday, OJ Simpson day. Boy, and we all need a break after yesterday, don't we? That was a rough show for a lot of different reasons. Rose, you worked super hard yesterday. You deserve a pay raise. You and Alan worked way overtime yesterday. Glad you guys were there to sort of keep a lid on things. Flux, good to see you here. Mods are in action. Now, got a few, excuse me, I just had an issue that sort of built up a little bit of phlegm in my throat here. So one thing I've done is I've changed the microphone position again. Just trying to get a little bit better sound. So we're going to try it here, but the problem with the microphone being here is it could pick up my breathing a lot. Just kind of somebody let me know how this sounds as the evening goes on. If it sounds better where it used to be kind of up over here, or whether it's good right here. Because I don't know. I like this. I think this sounds a little bit, there's a little more of a rich sound here. So I kind of like that, but I don't know how it's gonna pick up or how it's gonna sound. But anyway, we'll ask about that a little bit later. Oh my God. Where do we start? What do we like? Your heavy breathing? Well, okay. All right. Well, I don't even know where to go from there. Well, what are we going to do tonight? Of course, it's Thursday, so it's OJ Simpson. We're just going to jump back into some Dennis Fung business here. Our co-host, Chandler Remington, I saw her lurking around a little bit earlier. She'll be here, I guess, as soon as she gets her cam and her microphone all ready to go. She's here. She's got the invitation, and when she gets here, she gets here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning there, so I'm surprised she's even awake. Oh, Mike N. Nam says, how the fung are you? I'm pretty funging great because we got a lot of stuff to do here. Today, OJ, tomorrow, Friday, we won't be having a Friday morning stream. We'll be doing a Friday evening stream. I kind of like those Friday evening streams because I can relax on my Friday night, wake up a little bit earlier on Saturday morning, and it's your Friday night. So we're going to do a Friday evening stream tomorrow. And I'm going to be making a big announcement tomorrow. You're not going to want to, well, I mean, it's not going to really change the course of events for the future of mankind if you miss the stream tomorrow, but I think you don't want to miss it. Ozzy Overload and I, we have a big announcement to make. And then once we finish, this is going to be done in an hour and a half from now, 1 hour and 25 minutes from now. And then we will roll into, well, everybody will get transferred over to the Alec Murdoch stream that I'm going to be running. The not pregnant even, Torres. We'll funnel into my Alec Murdoch stream, and we'll stream that for an hour and a half until Joe gets back from his grandson's bris. So that's what we're going to be doing for the rest of tonight. Tomorrow night U.S. time will be just kind of the Friday stream where we talk about something. Then we'll have our weekend. I don't know if I'll do another surprise weekend stream or not. We'll just have to see what the weekend brings. Next Monday, Maritime Monday, and some other stuff going on. So, all right, that's what we've got. We don't have much time again, and I hate these trial days because it cuts us short on OJ Simpson. So we won't spend a lot of time doing this housekeeping stuff. I'm just going to text Chandler to make sure she's awake. Did you manage to wake up? All right, let's send her the invite just in case I sent her the wrong. Oh, there she is. Hey, welcome.
Hey, good morning or good
Good
evening.
morning
I guess.
to you.
How are you doing?
Good. Well, you're awake. You're alive. It just god awful early in the morning.
I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
All right, the co-host has arrived. So we are ready to rock it. It is Chandler Remington, paralegal extraordinaire, future lawyer from the beautiful Los Angeles.
It's beautiful. It has its beautiful features, I would say.
Are you from the beautiful side or the not so beautiful side?
I guess that depends on. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Do you live near Huntington Beach or do you live on Wilshire Boulevard?
I don't live as close to the beach as I did when I was at UCLA, but I'm on the west side of LA. It's very sunny, and very pretty here. So
all right, there you go.
It has its nice qualities.
You live in the good LA.
I live in LA. I mean, all of LA is good. Yeah. Theoretically.
You're such an optimist. All right, well, here. And for those of you that are interested, wondering, or care, Chandler's also going to stick around and hang out with me on the Murdoch trial until Joe starts his stream. So that's going to be great. We get her for some extra bonus time today.
I'm really looking forward to that, but I think we have to start with a little OJ first. So
I did love your tweet about the Murdoch trial yesterday. Let's see. She had a great tweet about the trial that I really, really loved.
Oh, I'm really glad that you liked it. I can't remember when I tweeted about the Murdoch trial yesterday.
Where is it? Oh, come on. Where'd it go? It was one where you're just talking about all the videos you watched during.
Right. The one where I said that I tuned away from the Murdoch trial to watch two rats having a slap fight, a cat wandering around an airplane, and a baby laughing at asparagus, and I had no regrets because honestly, nothing was really happening, and I was a little unenthused, I guess. I mean, I keep watching, I keep waiting for something interesting. Hopefully today we'll get there. Today, okay, but
today is most likely going to be Alec Murdoch himself on the stand.
I have heard rumors of that. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen. In my opinion, it would be really funny for the defense to make the prosecution scramble to try and come up with questions, and they would get increasingly frustrated over the last couple of days of testimony, and I think it would really throw them off their game. I've discussed this with, attorney friends of mine who basically have said he would be an idiot to get up on that stand. There are so many, he would probably, let's say they coached him for like a year, he would do great, and then he'd fall apart on cross. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that he should, if you were his attorney, would you advise him to get up on the stand?
He's got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah, nothing to lose. He's going to jail for the rest of his life anyway.
You're kind of right about that now that I think about it.
He's got nothing to lose. He's going to go to jail for the rest of his life anyway, and at least he can go down arguing, yes, I did all of this financial stuff, but I didn't kill my wife and child. But we'll just have to find out. We need to get some OJ underway here. We've got our OJ Simpson like and subscribe poll set up for the day. Did you hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed? Yes, different day, same action, or not yet. I'm a dumb cheater, but I'll do it right now. And just insert OJ Simpson joke here. Those are your choices for today.
That's a good one.
I just couldn't think of anything funny to say, so you say whatever funny thing you want. I
like it. I'm a fan.
That's it. The super chat rule is the same as always. Not required. Gratefully accepted. You're parting with your hard-earned money, so I guarantee you that I will read, address, and answer any super chat that is sent my way. And speaking of super chats sent my way, we've got two of them right now. Marv White. Good morning, amazing people. Well, good morning, amazing Marv White.
Good morning, Marv.
You're kicking us off. And Flux with the standard Shakespeare-esque quotes. Mocha Dick Poon, #pants or prison.
Yep. Pretty much.
There you go.
I always love
And-
the super chats.
And Chaos Coordinator is apparently recovered enough from being deathly ill to gift 10 Legal Vices memberships. If you're
I'm
one
so
of
glad you're feeling better.
that
That's
just got one of the 10 Legal Vices memberships, give Chaos Coordinator a great big thank you. Thank you for being so generous with that and gifting those memberships, Chaos Coordinator.
Very good.
And with the dog snoring behind me here. Why? Because I started the stream, so it's time for them to go to sleep and start snoring. That's actually one reason why I changed the position of the microphone a little bit in front of me, so that the dogs don't get all of the pick up all the side noise from the microphone. Now it's just sort of focused more at me. All right. Well, we're here for OJ. We're not here for anything else. So let's start it. We've got an hour and 15 minutes of OJ. I'm going to be so happy when this Murdoch trial is over and we can go to like 2.5 hour OJ streams.
Oh God, I
Oh,
can't
that'll
wait
make-
for it. It's gonna
Yeah,
make
we
me
don't,
so much better.
don't have to feel so rushed.
I feel like all of the law tubers have been suffering for the grift lately. So, kudos to, to Joe, to Nick, to everybody who's, taken an L. But I mean, big W, honestly. So
Yeah, well,
can't really complain, can you?
oh, well, I feel much better since I stopped streaming it because I can just go wherever I want, leave whenever I want.
Exactly.
So
And you can
there's
complain
no
about
obligation.
it on your own time.
Oh, and, yeah. Okay, so now Yoda has decided to start barking in the living room.
As
They just know.
per
It's like,
usual,
okay,
that's- well,
it's 10 o'clock, time for Dad to start streaming, so let's start snoring and barking. With that out of the way, let's jump in. If you recall, which you probably don't because poor Fung. Last week we left off where they spent the whole entire hour we were with them talking about how he picked up a pair of socks. Like literally the entire stream was okay. Was there blood anywhere near the rug? Was there any blood on the carpet? What about the white rug? The blood on the socks? Was there anything that transferred back and forth? How did you pick them up? And there was a big question. Did he pick them up wearing gloves? Did he pick them up with his bare hands, or did he scoop it up with like a pen or a bag? They call using the scoop method. I wonder if that's anything like spooning. I'm not sure, but probably not. So that was what they argued about, and they're not gonna stop arguing about that for a little while. So before we jump in, Enraged Bacon, I like that. That's a good name. Enraged Bacon. I watched the first 2 Murdoch Netflix docs, and apparently Paul was an abusive asshole. Can this raise doubt? Well, they shouldn't be watching it. The jurors shouldn't be watching the
no, it's not an
Netflix
evidence.
specials.
It's not relevant.
Yeah, and this is a documentary. It's a TV show. It's it's not evidence, but who knows? And also
Lots
lots
of people are not fans.
not fans. Yeah, pretty much everybody like hates him or loves him. They're either the old gentrified, the old timers in the community that are there with that deep money. They seem to like the Murdochs. All of his partners did because he was bringing them millions of dollars, and everybody was giving jobs and money to. But the regulars kind of seem to hate him. But we'll see how it goes. About an hour from now, hour and 15 minutes from now. In the meantime, let's see what's going to get funged up this time. Ready, Chandler?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And they were looking through towels in the bathroom.
They were looking through the contents of the hamper in the bathroom.
God, he can't even
Contained
say they were looking
towels.
at towels. We're off to a run.
Didn't go through it that carefully.
See, we are literally 1.5 seconds into this, and all he said was they were looking at towels. Well, they were looking through the contents of the hamper, which may have been towels. Just say yes. What the hell difference does it make if they were looking at towels or not? Oh God. Why
Irrelevant?
why does my blood pressure have to go up every time I do a stream?
And clothes.
All right,
There were
let's get this
clothing.
thing going.
And no one called to your attention any clothing or any towel that had a trace of blood.
Oh, that's correct.
And no one called to your attention any towel or any clothing that contained soil.
Oh yes, I forgot about the soil that
correct.
would have been on his socks, supposedly. Yeah, we argued about soil for a while
I'd like
too.
to turn now to the circumstances of your collection of the socks.
Here we go. How did he pick up the
Now, I
socks
think
off
you
the
told
floor?
us on
We'll
direct
have to see.
examination that you have no recollection now as to whether you used the glove method or the scoop method to collect the socks.
That's correct.
But you're sure that you collected the socks and not Miss Mazzola?
Yes.
In going back over your evidence collection sheet, did you and Miss Mazzola talk about who collected what?
Yes.
And before you came in to testify, the two of you had discussed which one of you collected which item, and you filled in the copy of the evidence collected sheet that you have before you with such designations.
We did to the best of our memories. Yes.
And you were doing.
Now, see, there you go. This is something that we've been talking about since the beginning of Dennis Fung's testimony. They didn't contemporaneously write down who collected the evidence, what time it was collected, or where it was collected from. They only did that for things they considered to be relevant at the time. And so that's why he's when they said, did you do it? He said, well, we went and we did it to the best of our recollection. That's not how you're supposed to mark evidence.
No, and it definitely doesn't go a long way in a trial where the defense's entire strategy is to undermine the police, tactics and procedures. We're already introducing a lot of doubt into, the way that all of this evidence was collected. If it looks like you maybe wrote down what you wanted to write down later on, something that fit things better, the jury is not going to look at that kindly.
Yeah, nope. They just kind of went back and said, did you get this evidence or did I? Do you recall? Do you recall who got this evidence? I think it was you, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let's put your name on there. That's kind of how they did it. And C. Case is also gifted 5 Legal Bites memberships. Well, that is incredibly generous of you. Thank you so much. Those of you that just got your 5 gifted memberships from C. Case, give her a wonderful, wonderful shout out and a big old thank you. Let's see how Fung's doing again.
This to the best of your memories when?
I don't really recall when. It was several months after.
Several months after. He went back and tried to remember who did this.
No, it was, maybe more than a month.
Was it after you testified at a proceeding in this court in August?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my God.
Wow.
There was no markings on the sock that was found in OJ's bedroom.
Okay.
On the floor. They put it in the envelope. They didn't write down who collected it or anything. And they didn't do that until almost the trial date, until he testified at one of the preliminary things. And then he thought, oh my gosh, I better go back and fill out that evidence collection paperwork.
That's egregious. I know that you say that you do this stream not to change anybody's minds about the trial. I'm kind of putting on my tinfoil hat over here a little bit, and I did not expect to have conspiracy, signals going off. But I'm
that's one of the defense's main arguments, that they planted evidence.
Wow, that's a big deal. You don't just ignore that.
Are the prosecutors? Medita Finn asks, are the prosecutors coaching Fung how to testify in the middle of testimony at their office, or do they have to do it before? They should do it before. Once he starts and is under oath, they shouldn't be talking to him and telling him what to do.
No, but I believe you said that he was coached 10 different times.
Yeah, he had 10 training sessions. Yeah, he had around 10 training sessions and run-throughs before he testified.
And look what that did. He almost spent that many days on the stand.
Yeah, so he just literally said he collected, again, one of the most important pieces of evidence, the sock from inside the Simpson residence, put it in a bag, didn't say who collected or how it was collected, and then only tried to remember it and fill out the paperwork after he'd already testified at one of the preliminary hearings. This is crazy. So let's see how much crazier it gets over the next 6 days.
Now, when you filled out your evidence item collection sheet for Rockingham, however, you did fill in the times that certain items were collected here on June 13th.
The items were filled in, yes.
And when you put in times for these items on June 13th, you filled them in that day.
They were filled in that day.
Your Honor, I'd like to put up on the Elmo a copy of the evidence collection sheet, but I'm putting a Post-it over a certain portion.
Elmo wants to help the defense.
Now, this is an overall shot of your evidence collection sheet for that day.
I think he's in the mood to be tickled right now.
Yes.
And there's a box there that indicates times, is there not?
Yes.
And then starting at, I believe, item 11, if we could focus on that, Mr. Harris, starting at item 11. We could zero in on that.
Elmo has bad eyesight. Oh, thank you. Oh, come on.
Move it.
Use your
just-
1995
that's it,
technology
great.
and zoom in.
All right, item 11 represents
Right here.
the first item that was collected when you and Ms. Mazzola returned to Rockingham in the afternoon.
Yes.
And you put down that time as 3:40 for 1540 hours.
That was the time that was put down.
And to your knowledge, is that accurate?
That's the general time frame that it was
General
collected.
time frame it was collected
And
in.
then the next item
Not the
was a
time it was
red
connected.
stain from the foyer area.
He implied that it wasn't even him who wrote it.
in-
That was the time it was put down.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Is
said,
the-
did you put that time down? He said, that was the time that was put down. So
Yeah.
how would it be to his recollection, whether it was accurate, if he's implying that it might not have been him who wrote it? I'd like to know.
Yes, Miss Mazzola did testify. Should I add that to the testimony list? Do y'all want to see Ms. Mazzola testify about her evidence collecting techniques? One, if you want to hear Mazzola's testimony about 6 years from now when we finish Dennis Fung, and two, if you just don't want to hear any more about OJ. So
Now,
yeah,
remind me, Mazzola is who again?
it is his assistant.
Okay.
The
I remember that.
his
I knew that. I wanted to
trainee.
make sure.
His trainee who had done 4 or 5 murders before this.
Now, did she testify after Fung?
I believe it was before. I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was his answer to, did you do this? Did you write this time down? Well, it was written down at vaguely that point in time. He didn't, as Chandler said, didn't say he wrote it, so we don't know who wrote it. But it was written sort of kind of, the evidence was collected sort of kind of in that same general time frame.
Inside Rockingham, correct?
Yes.
And that one was collected at 4:30.
Yes.
And
Or
the
thereabouts.
Marv says
or
1.
thereabouts. And the next
Thanks.
item you collected were the socks,
The socks.
Yes.
but there's no time indicated for that.
That's correct.
And the next item after that you indicated was a red stain that was found in the master bathroom.
Yes.
And that time is at 4:40.
Yes.
So I believe it was your testimony on direct examination that you collected the socks sometime between 4:30 and 4:40.
About then, yes.
And then before you left the residence, you collected 2 other items, numbers 15 and 16, and those were at 5 and 5:05.
The checklist states 15 and 16 were collected at about the same time.
Well, what times were those listed on the checklist? Perhaps you can help us. It's a little difficult to see.
They both say the same time, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. And those were items that were collected as you walked out of Rockingham in the front door area.
I'll object to any testimony about 15 and 16.
Sustained.
Now,
And make a motion to strike that part of the testimony to the extent it came in.
Oral.
now, At the time that you were doing your collection in Mr. Simpson's master bedroom area, did you see someone walking around with a videotape camera?
I don't recall when I saw the videotape camera coming through. I do recall it being there, though.
You recall a gentleman named Mr. Ford. Do you know him?
Yes, I do.
African-American gentleman?
Yes.
And he was the one that was carrying around the video camera.
Yes.
And he was being directed in this by a person from SID named Atkins.
Was he on a
Mr.
diet?
Atkins was present, but I don't know what his function was.
And Mr. Atkins was wearing a very striking and nice gray suit that day with a badge hanging from his pocket.
Mr. Atkins does dress nicely.
Do you recall that suit?
I don't recall the suit.
No. And a
Okay, that was
detective
weird.
Looper was also walking around with the Mr. Ford with the video camera.
I don't recall that.
Do you recall seeing them in the foyer area?
No.
Do you recall seeing them in the master bedroom area at around 4:14?
I don't recall. I didn't keep track of their comings and goings.
Well,
I love these quirky questions. Like,
you have no recollection whatsoever.
What was that?
Okay. I was just saying,
I
love
can
these
barely
quirky
hear you today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yikes. Sorry about that. I'm trying out new headphones, and I thought that it had a built-in microphone capability, but I might not be correct about that.
Or you could be correct and it's just really bad.
Well, if you can't hear me, I was just saying I like the quirky questions that seem to make no sense. Like, was he wearing a really nice suit? Like in the Murdaugh trial, it's like, is the puppy doing well? Is he okay?
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
moving on. Sorry.
You got to put him at ease.
Yes.
Whatever. Let's get on with
Yeah,
the
this guy's having a hard time. Let's make him laugh a little bit because we're gonna put him through another week of this.
Well, because we all know that every girl crazy about a sharp dressed man. I guess that's what ZZ Top taught me. That's all I know.
Of them, of Mr. Ford with the video camera up in the master bedroom at or around the time that you were doing collection.
Again, I didn't keep track of Mr. Ford at that time.
Have you seen that videotape?
No, I have not.
Have you had discussions with anybody about that videotape?
No.
Have you had any discussions with people at SID about what's shown on that videotape?
No.
Have you had discussions with anyone in the district attorney's office as to what's shown on that videotape?
No.
Has anybody anywhere communicated to you anything about whether or not at 4:14 in the afternoon those socks are depicted on that videotape?
No one has communicated that information to me or with me.
Shut
Has
up.
anybody indicated to you there's some question as to whether or not those socks are on the videotape?
Sustained.
Did you see Mr. Ford walking around with that video camera at about 3:14 in the afternoon?
What was that?
I said most of the music I like is from the 60s and 70s. Moving on.
Okay. Now with you, is it a Bluetooth headphone?
Yes,
And you're on your phone, right?
I am. Is it still bad?
StreamYard for some reason doesn't play well with Bluetooth headsets. If you it works best if you have the headphones hearing but using the phone's microphone.
Okay, I'll fix that.
And
Did it
and
just
it's
get
kind of-
bad? Let me try this.
We'll say something.
Can you hear me better now?
It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. God damn it. Okay.
Well, here in the StreamYard settings. There's like the audio. There's like the headphones and the microphone. You can select which one you use, and that should sort it out.
Okay, I'm gonna go off camera for a second, and I'm gonna see if I can fix it up. Okay.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
I did not keep track of Mr. Ford.
Well, did you see them coming with the video camera out of the master bedroom area before you went up into it?
I don't recall.
Is there any particular reason that there is no time in your evidence collection report for those socks?
I collected the socks and did not tell Miss Mazzola what time I collected them.
Idiot. You're just an idiot, Fung.
You recall that?
It's obvious because the
it's obvious.
time's not written down.
Well, Mr. Fung, I'm asking you about what you remember, not what you're assuming.
Fung. Give us a howdy, Chandler.
Howdy.
It sounds exactly the same. Cool. It actually sounds a little worse. It sounds like you're farther away before. Whatever.
Oh God. Okay.
But Alec Baldwin says, Legal Vices, who's Chandler? She's far too attractive to be a lawyer. Does she want a job in film production? I think I could free up a position if she's interested. Mr. Baldwin, I thank you for the offer, but I'm not sure she's interested in any project you're involved in. And Marv White, thank you so much for this super generous super chat. 6 for YouTube, 6 for Vices, 8 towards her new microphone and headset setup.
I have one more solution. I feel like I need to yell now. Like everybody is deaf. I might come back in.
Just do one quick test for me. Tap your phone where the microphone is. Yep, don't hear a thing. So it's still going through your head, your headset, the microphone.
Okay, all right. I can do this. I can fix this. I'm certain of it.
Yeah.
Let's keep watching.
It's just a thing. It's just a thing. And it actually, yeah, never mind. Just do whatever. You work on it. We'll listen to this. No big deal.
Let me, one second here.
Or don't.
Don't stop anything for me necessarily here.
Well, now it's actually sounding a little better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I switched it. Did it work this time?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
It's definitely when it might be going through your phone because the closer you get to the phone, the better it sounds.
Okay. All right.
Anyway,
we'll get there.
So.
We'll get there. Thank you for bearing with me, everybody in the audience and Jeff.
No worries. Let's rock.
No, I don't recall that.
So the answer is you don't know any reason why the time is not written down?
I don't remember why the time's not written down.
All right. And what you just said to this jury that about what happened was that you did not tell Miss Mazzola what time you recovered the socks. That's something you're just speculating about because you think.
Well, yeah, that's actually why I stopped that to talk about the testimony. It was okay. There's no time there, so you didn't write down the time. Well, I didn't tell Mazzola. And then he said, well, how do you remember not telling her? He said, well, it's obvious I didn't tell her because it's not written down. So what he's saying is you can't read your notes and use those to remember something. You can use them to refresh your memory, but you can't assume you did something because it is or is not in your notes. So you can't just look at that empty space on there and assume you didn't tell Ms. Mazzola. You either don't remember whether you told her or not, or you specifically remember not telling her what time it is. It's a very fine distinction, but it's an important one.
I think it sounds good, right?
Sustained.
Is that something that you actually remember?
What exactly?
You have no recollection as to whether you simply failed to tell Miss Mazzola the time that you collected the sock, right?
Sustained. Rephrase the question.
Do you have an independent recollection as you sit here today that you simply failed to tell Miss Mazzola what time you collected the sock?
Say no, dumbass. Nobody believes you if you say yes. You
Do I
don't
remember not telling
Yes.
Yeah.
her about
Yes.
the sock?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember that the reason that there's no time there is because you just didn't tell her about it? Actually remember that occurring?
You know, it's almost a logical impossibility.
It is not a logical impossibility.
You're asking me if I remember not doing
Exactly.
why I didn't
I
do
remember
something?
not killing
Mr.
someone
Fung,
this morning.
You told us a second ago that when I,
I
asked
remember
you
not having
if
breakfast.
you knew why there was no time written for the collection of the socks, you answered, well, that's because I didn't tell Miss Mazzola what time I collected it, right?
Sustain.
To be fair, I remember doing things better than I remember not doing them.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Is it better?
I wonder if Alex remembers not killing someone.
Did you measure the location of the socks?
Yes, I did.
Finally.
Did you do it together with Miss Mazzola?
I believe so.
Did you call out the measurements to her?
I don't recall which
I think this
way-
cross-examination is
It's
a
her
traumatic
handwriting. I
brain
assume
injury.
that I did.
And there's a mistake with respect to the measurements of the sock, isn't there?
Oh God, answer the question.
What mistake is that?
Well, on your evidence collection sheet, where do you record the socks as being?
The socks were in the master bedroom, 8 feet north of the south wall and 4 feet west of the east wall.
Now, could you turn to your field notes for Rockingham?
That was read from my field notes.
Oh, you read it from your field notes?
Yes.
All right, could you compare the measurement? Would you now read for us from your evidence collection sheets where the socks are? What measurements you reported?
Uh-oh.
Do you mean my property report?
No, I mean this evidence collection sheet that we have.
That's what I was reading from.
Oh, you're reading from that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, don't you have a sheet of paper there entitled Field Notes?
Yes.
All right? And on your field notes, did not you make a record of the measurements as to where the socks were? I'm asking about the field notes.
I'm looking at the field notes. Yes.
What are the measurements on the field notes?
The measurement on the field notes state 4 feet north of the south wall and 8 feet west of the east wall.
So that's the opposite of the measurements that you have on your evidence collection sheet.
Yes.
Were the socks moved?
No.
Now, Mr. Fung,
This poor guy.
Poor mother funger.
I'd like to bring you back to one more thing with respect to the Bronco search. Yes, sir. We marked this evidence collection sheet, where I showed it is defendants.
1090, 1091.
You stated before when we were discussing your search of the Bronco that the light was better when you were looking at that picture of the console in the laboratory than the light you had when you were searching on June 14th?
He stated that the lighting, the photography looked like it had better lighting.
And were you trying to convey the impression that the lighting that you had when you were conducting your search on June 14th was inadequate for you to discover those red stains?
I was only stating that the lighting was different.
Was the lighting, in your judgment, adequate to see red stains when you were conducting your search on June 14th?
Yes.
In fact, you were using a flashlight to conduct your search.
During certain portions of it, yes.
Why wouldn't you just turn the room lights on?
That's a very good question.
Now, your microphone sounds better because I bumped it 200%.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for doing that. I'm sorry about the audio issues. I will get them worked out. I promise. By the time we are on next week.
No worries. We're all good.
As long as I'm not just going, then we're good.
Yeah. We got one super chat here from Nancy Joe Misicek. Is it possible his long pauses, he's waiting for a cue from the prosecution? It's odd how long he pauses. No, I think he's just not the we love mixing our metaphors here, by the way, Chandler. He's not the top, he's not the sharpest tool in the belfry, I think. That's our mixed metaphor for the day.
I think he's being extremely deliberate in his answers, because I think that he's just overly cautious. He knows that he's, under oath. I think he's trying to tell the truth. He's trying not to get caught in contradictions. But unfortunately, it has the effect of making him look incredibly untrustworthy and kind of shifting.
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to outthink Fung, and that's Fung is trying to outthink Scheck, and that's just never going to happen. So he should probably stop trying.
I think Scheck is a little. I mean, unfortunately, the prosecution couldn't outthink Scheck. So
yeah. Well, and just we do have an announcement I forgot to make at the top of the show. Andrew Sun here in chat reminded me. Yes, he got sent to the bad boys room yesterday just because it was all the shitstorm that was happening. But we're not talking about it because it's in the past. But it was. I did free the Kraken today. Everybody who was most of everybody. There's still 2 people that just earned a super special perma ban yesterday. But one of those people that earned a special perma ban was accusing one of the people in chat yesterday of being a mod and banning people. When that person was actually not a mod. And it was a whole big thing. And so they were accusing Shizzy Wiznut of being a mod. So just for shits and giggles, we decided to make Shizzy Wiznut our newest mod today. So congratulations, Shizzy Wiznut, our most recent mod, who was modded because someone was accusing him of being a mod. And if you're going to be accused of doing something, you may as well do it. So there we go. Shizzy Wiznut, congratulations on being our newest mod. And Andrew Sun, we love you. Please continue to participate actively in the conversation. All right, let's get back to Fung.
What number? 1092. All right, photograph 1092.
Is that a picture of you with a flashlight looking at a red stain labeled 34?
Yes.
And isn't that the way that you proceeded through the Bronco, using your flashlight to look?
He used his flashlight in the Bronco.
Red
That makes
stains
sense.
that you saw?
I did use a flashlight during certain portions of it, yes.
Well, didn't you use your flashlight when you were searching the console area?
Yes, I did.
Let's go, Brandon. Just congrats on becoming gay.
When you finish
All mods are gay.
It's spelling too.
Yep.
your search at the Bundy crime scene, did you get together with Miss Mazzola and anyone else that was assisting you and hold a conference about, before you close down the scene, let's carefully review and consider everything we've done to make sure we've missed nothing?
We did go through and do our inventory check of the evidence we collected.
Well, I'm not talking about the inventory check. The inventory check is when you and Ms. Mazzola compare the items you've collected, you think you've collected, with the items that you actually have seized, correct?
The items that we have collected with the, I don't understand that question.
I think that you described on direct examination that after you finish with one crime scene, right, you conduct what you call an inventory, right?
Yes.
And the inventory is where you look at your notations as to what you have written down you've collected, and you compare it to the actual bags and coin envelopes and objects that you have in fact in front of you.
Yes.
And you try to compare it to make sure that you have the numbers correct.
We do compare it.
You do compare, right?
Yes.
And that's the point of it.
Yes.
So that both you and Ms. Mazzola are clear about everything that you've received, you think you've received based on your notes, based on your own recollections, and everything that you actually have right there in front of you.
We compare our notes to the evidence to see that they coincide.
And you did this inventory after you finished the first time at Rockingham.
Yes.
And you did this inventory after you finished at Bundy.
Yes.
And you did this same kind of inventory after you finished at Rockingham in the afternoon.
Yes.
Talking about something different from the inventory. When you made did you make the decision to close down the crime scene at Bundy?
I decided when I would leave. I didn't know if they were going to keep it roped off or barricaded off for additional use.
Well,
or investigation.
Did you communicate with anyone that you had finished your searching at Bundy at around 3 in the afternoon?
Yes.
And who did you tell that to?
There was an officer at the scene who I told that I was ready to leave.
And did you indicate to that officer that you were, intending to come back for more searches?
I did not say that to him.
You didn't give him any instructions to keep the barricades up?
That's correct.
And in your crime scene checklist, sir, is there not a specific box that indicates whether or not you failed to locate items?
Yes.
And that's something that you're supposed to fill out when you complete a search.
That is something that can be filled out.
In other words, if you think, well, we conducted a search, but maybe we failed to locate items, there's a box here that you fill out to bring that to the attention of yourself and your supervisors.
If it's needed, yes.
All right. So
why would it not
you did not fill that out with respect to the Bundy location, that there was a list of failure to locate items that people should pay attention to?
There was not a need to do that.
Because as far as you were concerned, you had not failed to locate any particular items.
No, it was well known what was missing.
Well, what was missing?
Yeah.
There.
Dirt?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Oh,
No, it's not irrelevant. He made it relevant by saying we all know what was missing.
That opened the door a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what was missing. Isn't that kind of where we're going with this?
It is. That's the very next question here.
It's a very good question. I mean, and also if you're filling out a form, simply say, I did not fail to locate anything, signature date, you should always fill out that form. Am I wrong?
No, you're
I'm not
wrong.
Check, so I can't say for sure what the procedures are, but I would think that it would be important to notate that, no, I did not fail to locate any items.
And now your audio is virtually unhearable. It's all crackly and broken, like it was the very first time you were on.
Oh dear.
It's really crackly.
Okay, I'm gonna try and come in one more time. Let's try this again.
And something else to try. I mean, I don't know what the noise level in your house is at this point in time, but just going with the straight phone, audio, and microphone is a very good option at times.
Okay. Let's see if we can do this. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. Chandler, press F5. Just refresh everything.
There was a weapon that was missing.
Aside from the weapon, as far as you knew, in terms of what you were supposed to be collecting at Bundy, you had located everything you thought you had been instructed to collect.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I thought I was instructed to. Yes.
And again, you want to do more than just what the detectives tell you. You want to conduct your own independent investigation of the scene to make sure that you're leaving no relevant evidence behind when you leave that scene.
If I see additional evidence that needs to be collected, I will do so.
Well, before you leave the scene, do you want to make sure that you've been as thorough as you possibly can and you haven't left anything behind?
I attempt to do that, yes.
And isn't it standard procedure to call all the people that are involved in the search and have a discussion about whether or not you're really done?
And it's not standard.
Is that something you do?
Occasionally, I will do that.
Something that you've been instructed to do?
Never been instructed to do that.
Now,
do you have to be instructed to do everything? Do you have to be instructed to do the most basic part of your job?
there's even a box on your crime scene checklists that indicates, are additional searches needed? If yes, what and where?
That's correct.
And you didn't fill that out with respect to Bundy.
That's correct.
Because as far as you were concerned, there were no additional searches needed.
That's not true.
So there were additional searches needed. So you weren't complete. You didn't do everything.
Directing your attention to page 3 of your crime scene check.
All right. While he's doing nothing, Chandler, give us a howdy. Nope.
Now can you see on the monitor there where it says list failure to locate items?
Yes.
And you wrote what next to that?
Can't make it out on that. Let's see what page is that on. NA was written by that.
And that stands for what?
Not applicable.
And that means, as far as you were concerned, there were no items that you had failed to locate other than what you've just told us before the knife.
Not applicable. Oops.
According to that was filled in on the checklist that way.
And you searched as hard as you possibly could in the area of Bundy for a knife or knives.
The area was searched. I did not conduct the complete search of the entire area that was searched.
Well, to your knowledge, were other people sent out to do searching?
This calls for hearsay, Your Honor.
Well,
It doesn't really call for hearsay at all.
That is the officer in charge of the scene's responsibility. That's not my duty.
I understand, but to your, was it your understanding and was it your perception at the time?
Fung continued
you
to
were
work as
assigned one
criminologist
area
after
of the
this
Bundy
trial.
crime scene to search for a knife, and that other people were conducting other searches in your presence for the knife?
Calls for hearsay,
He saw it.
speculation, and no personal knowledge.
Overruled. That's part of the question.
My directions were to collect items of evidence in the cage area, collect stains along the pathway north of the house, and to measure shoe prints along the north walkway of the house.
Well, did not your assignment include looking for all relevant evidence that you could find from the front of 875 South Bundy, the area where the bodies were found, all the way out past the rear gate where stains were collected?
What's vague as to how far past the rear gate?
Sustain, rephrase the question.
How far were you? Let's go up to the rear gates. Did you
He
say
really
it was
doesn't want
part
him
of
to
your
answer this
assignment to look for
question.
relevant evidence from the front of the crime scene where the bodies were found to the rear gate?
That was what I described previously, was what Detective Lang told
I
me.
still think it's 50-50, Tina.
If I had found additional items of evidence, then that would also be under my responsibility also.
And so what I'm asking you, sir, is as you were conducting your investigation on June 13th, were you not looking on your own in this area for relevant items of evidence?
Yes.
If you saw a stain that Detective Lang didn't tell you about that looked like it might be important, you would have photographed it, had it photographed.
Yes,
You would have had it swatched, collected.
possibly.
Possibly.
Now,
Good?
You're
when you
good.
finish that crime
Yes.
scene,
Thank you
and
for
that
that.
directing your attention to the crime scene checklist, there is that box there that says additional searches needed. If yes, what and where?
Yes,
And that was not filled out.
that's correct.
And so when you left that Bundy crime scene, as far as you were concerned, there were no additional searches needed. Is that correct?
I knew that we had to return to Rockingham.
But when you left, did you expect that there was a very good chance that they were going to tear down the yellow tape and let the public approach the crime scene area?
I knew they would tear down the crime scene at some point.
Did it come to your attention on June 13th that the crime scene tape was torn down and many people approached the Bundy crime scene location in both the front and in the rear?
I did become aware of it at a later date
And when did you become aware of it?
on the news.
You saw footage on the news of people approaching the front and back of the Bundy crime scene area.
The lead criminologist on the case learned that people were interfering with the crime scene by watching the news. He saw on the news, oh my God, people are going into my crime scene.
I have no words for that. None.
I have words for welcome back with a great microphone.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. I thought that my headphones were going to be good, but you know what? Here we are, just adjusting and figuring things out as I go along. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's
Salty
see.
Hard R Brainwater says Jeff always finds the prettiest ladies to guest on his channel. I'm not
very sweet.
stupid.
Thank
I'm
you.
not-
No,
I'm not-
he's a very smart man. It's true.
Yeah, I'm not dumb. Of course. Nobody comes here to watch me. Jeez. Uter Van Putin is getting checked still used among. See, this was a thing. This was another thing. It was short lived, and I think it was short lived. I don't know. I haven't talked to
Getting
lawyers in the
checked?
States for a million years. But yeah, the check became a verb at some point.
I
where
kind of
you-
like it.
where getting checked just meant this happened to you. You were just totally crushed and destroyed by someone or something. You
Obliterated.
got checked. Yeah,
I kind of like it. Can we bring that back?
we should.
I think we should. I think it's about time. Let's get people doing that again. I like it.
And we have another song here. I can hear clearly now. The fuzz is gone.
Fabulous. I'm so happy. Thank you guys. You all have the patience of saints, and I'm really happy that we can just focus on what's going on the screen now. So let's do that.
Yeah. Legal Vice is not wrong. I'm here for Yoda and Strawberry cameos.
Yes, well, those, I mean, they're so cute. They make excellent guest appearances. They are fabulous co-hosts, if I may say so.
Alan the mod has also showed up. Alan, as I told Rose, you worked hard yesterday. You worked you did a hell of a job yesterday. Thank you very, very much. All right. Let's get back to Dennis Fung getting I almost said Shrek'd.
No, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. He didn't just get Shrek'd.
We don't want to know.
He got Shrek'd.
That's when you get the prosecutor out of your swamp, or tell him
I guess.
something.
All right, so let's see what happens when Dennis Fung realizes that people are crawling around his crime scene, not because the crime scene's protected, but because he sees people crawling around his crime scene on the news.
This is irrelevant and there's no personal knowledge.
Sustain.
Chaos coordinator. It was at that moment he knew he funged up.
About that?
He has no idea when the videotape was taken. What he saw.
When did you see a videotape of people on the front and the rear of the Bundy crime scene?
It's irrelevant whether he saw such a videotape, Your Honor.
Oh, I don't recall when.
Well, was it within the day of the search between June 13th and June 14th?
I don't recall.
Well, do you recall somebody calling to your attention that lots of people had approached and touched the areas of the Bundy crime scene, the front and the back area?
We've already established that when the crime scene was broken down and when Mr. Fung went back out. So
I'm just trying to ascertain that what was the videotape you saw on television within a day or two of when you closed down that crime scene?
It's irrelevant.
Oh, I don't recall.
Could have been.
Possibly.
Certainly wasn't more than a week afterwards, right?
It may have been.
All right. But when you closed down the crime scene, as far as you were concerned, no additional searches were needed, right?
That's not what I stated.
All right. Well, you just decided not to fill out the form.
It was not necessary to fill that portion out.
Did you go to somebody and say, we really ought to go back and continue searching the Bundy crime scene area because I don't think we got everything?
I never said that to anybody.
Did you go back to Detective Lang and compare notes with him as to whether or not you collected everything he asked you to collect?
I didn't do that, no.
See, and all of this long questioning happens because he can't just say, we thought we got everything.
you want to mark that?
Yes, it's 1093.
All right, 1093.
All right, we'll take that brief little break here to clear off one thing, Flux. One time, my friend stabbed me with a fork. There wasn't much blood. Maybe the murderer used a fork to avoid getting blood on them. Could be, but yeah, it'd probably take a lot of effort to nearly saw someone's head off with a fork. Just saying.
You fill up a diagram was filled out of the Bundy crime scene by you and Miss Mazzola on June 13th.
Yes.
It was actually written on the back of the evidence collection page. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'd like to mark this defendant's next in order.
1094.
Oh, technology. A hand-printed map on a piece of paper removed from a 3-ring binder. Okay, so roll your 20-sided dice here to get a random wandering monster roll here in your D&D map. Search for invisible doors and hidden traps down these hallways. do a wandering monster roll. Yeah.
Now, what are we looking at here? Sorry for that.
It's hard to tell from this monitor.
I don't know.
Check.
Yes. Now,
the Bundy scene, I believe.
This diagram is projected to the left is the front of the Bundy crime scene, the front of 875.
You see 3 skeletons standing around a chest. What do you do?
No, it's upside down, but yes.
All right. And moving to the right, that is heading towards the rear gate in the alley.
Yes.
All right. Now, could you point out for us
I'll look check to the diagram being oriented this way because it's very confusing. I mean,
All right,
that's going different. Okay.
I'm confused.
All right.
There.
North
north means things.
One more quarter turn.
One more quarter turn.
No.
No, the other way.
No.
That's exactly how it was, Barry.
That's the very right of it.
Come on, Barry.
How
North.
about that?
No.
Like me on camera a second ago.
God damn it.
One more turn.
One more turn to the right.
There.
There you go. Good job, Barry.
There you go.
All right.
Good job,
Now, if we
boy.
could, so to the right, as we look at the screen, that's the front of 875 where the bodies were found.
Yes.
And as we move to the left, that's moving towards the rear gate.
No.
Yes.
And the way that this diagram is written, within the circles, you've indicated photo identification numbers.
Yes.
And that's because at the time that this diagram was made, the only identifying marks you had were these photo identification numbers.
Yes.
The question actually moving his
Now,
lips and making noise.
You began collecting
Like he has to read out loud to
the
himself.
blood drops that were in proximity to shoe prints. At what point? What was the first photo ID number?
Like counting
That
on
was
your.
in proximity to
To
the
a shoe print.
shoe prints along the trail.
Yes, under what you're calling a trail.
That would be photo ID number 112. Would you like the item number?
No, photo item, all right, photo item number 112, that would be item 47.
Yes.
All right. And could you, guide Mr. Harris with the arrow to where 112 is on this diagram? He's got it. See that dot?
More to the left. The other left.
The other left.
More,
Nice
more.
one.
Stop.
The
up.
other left.
See, Fung's getting his digs in with the directions.
Dave's left. My left. Your left.
Yeah, he's getting even with him now because he knows north on a map and which way is left.
At this point, we have to ask the prosecution what's left. Can you salvage
Yeah.
this? I really don't think they can. They're so fucked. Sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, poor old Barry Scheck. His mind is greater than ours. He doesn't have time to worry about things like map coordinates and directions.
No, left, right. It doesn't matter to him. He's destroying this guy.
Oh God! All right,
love
we've got about. We're gonna go about, what do we got here? It's 10 after, so 20. We're going like 15 more minutes, and then we'll all get ready for the Murdoch stream. Well, I'll send you over to my other stream that's locked and loaded and ready to go. So we've got about 15 more minutes to hit that like and subscribe. Where are we now? And we have 448 people here now. I think this is the most we've ever had for an OJ stream. This is usually the worst stream of the week. We're usually like right around 100 or so, maybe. So, hey, welcome everybody that's here for the OJ Simpson stream, where we're just kind of looking back on some of this to watch some of the greatest criminal defense work you'll ever see in your entire life. This cross-examination was an 8.5-day devastation of this poor criminologist. It's widely considered by trial lawyers to be one of the greatest cross-examinations in the history of law.
Yes,
Just
I think
by the
this
way, it was
made
so
the
thorough.
trial of the century, designation accurate for this particular case.
And let's see, our like and subscribe poll, our midstream. What do we got here? Did you hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed? 11% of you said not yet. I'm a dumb cheater. I'll do it. 32% of you said insert OJ Simpson joke here. And 58% of you said yes, different day, same action. And for those of you that are subscribing, we are now 24 subscribers away from 34,000.
Woohoo!
So if
Fabulous.
24 of you watching haven't subscribed, get down there and hit that subscribe button, and let's get up to 34,000. And then next Friday night will be what I call Fuck It Friday, where we just say, fuck it. We get drunk. I grift. You give me $100 for shots, and we just get really ripped. I think last month went 11 hours. So that's what we're going to do. And we'll have a super special blowout for a 34,000 subscriber deal. And you'll be getting your invitation for your very first Fuck It Friday.
Me?
Yes.
Moi? Oh my God.
You.
I would be so happy to join. That would be hilarious and a lot of fun. I don't know. Are we going to get past 28 shots this time?
Yeah, 35 is my limit. That's my
Wow.
record. 35 or 36, but that was, yeah.
How are you not dead?
I slammed, well, my last 8 were literally just like one right after the other, and then I ran to the bed and laid down. But so it was kind of cheating. But anyway, let's do this here for the next 15 minutes.
Let's do it.
There.
Okay, could we just indicate 112 there?
You see a slightly greenish ooze on the wall. It's sliding towards the floor. Roll a
Can we write
savings throw.
112? I'll tell you what. Why don't we, instead of calling it 112, why don't we mark it A? And that's the first one you collected on what you're calling a trail, correct?
Yes.
All right. Where's photo number 113?
That would be to the left of A.
Could you
and
direct
slightly higher.
Could you direct the arrow to it?
Left. Too much. Right there.
Okay, let's call that B.
Subscribe. We're
And
so
113 corresponds with item number 48.
I cast magic missile.
Yes.
All right. Now, show us number 114 that corresponds with item number, blood drop number 49.
This should be on TV once a year. Like,
To the
this
left.
thing took a year. It took 9 months.
And higher.
It would just be like, it'd be like F1. There'd be
Little
like
higher.
a 3-week break, and then it would
No
start
more to
again.
your left. Right there.
Okay, let's mark that C.
At this rate, we'll be done by the time I finish law school.
Nice reference there, Matt.
Now,
That
you
was
and Ms.
good.
Mazzola were collecting these in order. 112, 113, 114 that are reflected in A, B, and C.
That's my recollection, yes.
And you're moving towards the rear as you do it.
Yes.
And you are following Detective Lang's instructions.
Yes.
Let's move to
Just grab it.
item number 115 that would correspond with number 50. Where's that in this diagram?
To the left. Up. A little more to the left, right there.
Okay, let's
Oh,
mark
yeah,
that
right
D.
there. That's it. Right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, right there. Fung me. Fung me.
Funny, real good.
Fung me
Funny harder,
hard.
baby.
Now, the next one that you collected would be number
Sorry, everybody.
116.
We
Correct?
humbly apologize.
Yes.
And
no regrets.
Number 115, how far away is number 115 from the rear gate?
I haven't made that measurement.
Can we pull the diagram a little to the left?
Mike May says, you understand the basics and it would make
Is
that shit
that,
more entertaining. Not that
well,
anybody cares,
probably
but I've been
just
playing
disoriented all the
D&D since
markings there.
1970.
Okay, can I ask that we print this one
And it
out
was
then? And then we'll move
Two very, very thin pamphlets.
Would you agree, while this is being printed out, that the line to the left of D would be in the area of the rear gate?
Fung always goes left of D. Bring in the D.
It could be. I'm not positive.
Wasn't blood drop number 50 that corresponds with item number 115 found on that last top landing on the same level as the rear gates?
Yes.
And it's just a few feet away from that rear gate.
I haven't measured it, but it's close.
And item number 52, which corresponds with photo item number 117, is found beyond the rear gate.
Yes.
Just a few feet beyond that rear gate.
Yes.
And you say on direct examination that you don't recall Detective Lang directing you to look at that rear gate for blood drops.
I don't recall him specifically.
Okay, now this actually, all joking aside, this blood drop on the back gate line of questioning is incredibly important. So we'll watch this here for 5 minutes, and we'll probably go back to this point next week and pick up from this point so we can continue this, because this line of questioning goes a while and it is incredibly important. Everybody have Fung tonight. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Great song.
Telling me to do so, no.
Do you recall him telling you anything about taking blood drops off a gate?
I don't have any specific recollection of him having mentioned blood on the rear gate.
No blood on the rear gate.
Of any gate.
Of any gate.
Of any gate?
Yeah, do you remember him saying something about make sure to get blood drops off a gate? Something to that effect.
I don't recall him saying that either.
He might have.
He might have.
Now, and he might have told you to look at the rear gate, right?
That's possible.
Now, why don't you show us where item number 116 is on this diagram that you collected on June 13th?
I can't say I've never seen a nose with muscles.
116?
Photo number 116.
Or item number?
Photo number 116, which corresponds to item number 51.
Can't say that. Okay.
I'll check this. I can't see the whole diagram.
I think if he examines the diagram, Your Honor, he'll find it.
Can you see it on the diagram, Mr. Fung?
I know where it is from mine. It's not very clear on this.
Well, could you direct the pointer to the circle where that is?
Yes. To the right. More. Down. Right. Up. More. Right there.
Give me the
Okay,
D.
let's mark that E.
Give me the D over here. Yes, OJ spent between
Now that photo
estimated
number
between
116 that corresponds to item 51
$9 million
are stains on the front gate.
Front gate area.
And just to get the order right, you did A, B, C, and D as depicted in this diagram, right?
Yes.
Then you went all the way back to the front to get something off a gate, which is marked as E, that corresponds to photo number 116, item number 51.
I recall generally that we do our crime scene or our collection in order. It's not a steadfast rule, though, but generally we do.
Well, you certainly would want to keep the photo ID numbers in order here because that's what you were using to keep track of the samples.
In order or in what regard?
Order of collection.
Duh.
What kept the samples in order was that as we collected each sample, we collect them one at a time and label the photo ID number onto the coin envelope and place the sample that we have just collected that's been labeled in that envelope. That's what keeps track of the sample.
On June 13th, you collected 112, which is A47, right?
Yes.
Then you did 113, which is 48.
Yes.
Then you did 114, photo number 114, which is sample 49.
Yes.
Then you got sample number 50, just near the back rear gate.
Yes.
And then you went and you did sample 51 at the front gate.
I don't know if that was the exact order.
Well, isn't that the way your notes reflect the order of collection?
I've just told you that generally.
Is that the way your notes reflect the order of collection?
We're not talking generally here, bitch.
It assumes the fact not in evidence that his notes reflect order.
Specific
order of collection.
All right. Well, that's a perfect place to end this with this big scandal and drama over whether what order he collected the evidence in and whether he even knows what order he collected the evidence in. Ladies and gentlemen, the 534 of you that are here right now, thank you so much for putting me at 34,001 subscribers.
Yes, you did
That is
it.
really super awesome. I'm only 16,000 away from 50,000 subscribers. So that makes me happy. That's the target goal. I have a ridiculous goal of getting there in the next 2 months. It'll never happen, but I have a ridiculous goal to do that.
Well, hopefully I can bring some
awesome.
of my followers over to you. So I'm really excited.
Do it.
that we got to this. Yay, we did it. I'm really happy.
So again, it's a short day here because we've got the Murdoch trial starting in 6 minutes. Marshmallow Man or Mahalo Man. Sorry, Marshmallow Man. Mahalo Man. I'm just going to do that next time I go to Hawaii. Marshmallow. Expecting Fung to yell, and we are wild stallions. Okay, anyway, yeah. Be excellent to each other. All right. Chandler, co-host, the newly anointed co-host of OJ Simpson Thursdays. Thank you so much for being here. And Chandler's also going to join me over for the little bit of the Murdoch trial we're doing until Good Logic Joe comes home from his grandchild's bris.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's so exciting for him. Well, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy we get to do sort of like a double murder stream. I know actually, they're both double murders. Wow.
They are. There's like 2 trials, 4 dead bodies.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh no, OJ only killed one person. That's the thing. Ron Goldman. People always forget Ron Goldman. It's like he didn't really matter. I don't know why. It's very sad, but double murder trial. Happy to be here. Happy to talk OJ. Happy to talk Murdoch.
Just like In-N-Out Burger, baby. Give me a double.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of Wilshire Boulevard, I can't imagine you have no idea how many times I've visited the In-N-Out Burger on Wilshire Boulevard.
Oh, In-N-Out is fabulous. I am very loyal to In-N-Out. I think they make superior burgers, and I am very fond of them. So,
and Mrs. K. Griff says, "Are you going to stream until he's caught up to current? He's starting from the beginning on 1.5 speed, or maybe no. When he comes, we're just going to dump him back in there. But mine will be more entertaining.
Yeah.
He may not miss anything, so we'll see." But
I think
when he
have,
comes,
you have competing senses of humor. You're both very funny. You're both very entertaining. But I'm happy to be here. So,
all right, everybody, this is what is going to happen right now. We're going to shut this down, and we're all lined up to be redirected to my other stream that's set up. So that should happen. If you don't get bumped there automatically, there's going to be a little thing at the top of the chat that says, "Ooh, something's going on over Legal Vices. Click here to find out what," or whatever wording they use. If that doesn't work, just drop out and go back to YouTube to my page and look for the one that's live. And it's going to take me about 1 to 2 minutes because I got to shut all this down and then reopen everything up. And we'll see you over there. Mods, thank you so much for today and for yesterday and everything you did yesterday and today. Chat, thank you for being here. The chat is the greatest chat in the history of the universe. The Vice Squad, as you've named yourself, is pretty darn cool, I think. And thank you to all of the new subscribers that have been here. This is so awesome. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. All right, let's play the YouTube roulette and see how many of you make it over to the other stream. I'll be there as absolutely soon as I can. See you in just a couple of minutes. When I dump all this out, Chandler, I'll send you the link and we'll be good to go. All right, bye everybody. Catch you over here in a second. Go over there, hang tight. Tell everybody I'll be there in 1 to 2 minutes.
All right,
bye.